I want to tell you about the single best investment I've ever made for my career, still to this day. It cost me about $300 in about 2 to 3 months of study time. When I passed, which I did first try, I turned it around, applied to a new company, and I doubled my salary. The best part is, I'm not even exaggerating. This was my real life, and I still carry that certification today. This is the story of how I got the AWS Solutions Architect Associate and how that certification changed my career. And because of that, I still recommend that certification to just about everyone to this day. Let's get into it. So I'm going to be honest, at least for me, studying for this exam was rough. I'm not the best at sitting there and studying for hours on end. I get distracted very easily. So it took me about 2 to 3 months of study time. Not to mention just the course material itself. AWS Solutions Architect covers a very broad range: compute, storage, networking, IAM principles, architecture, cost optimization, the whole 9 yards. And especially at the time, I didn't have any cloud experience. So I was just trying to get into the field. I was already in IT, but didn't really do much in the cloud space. I was private cloud. So a lot of the terms and principles that apply to public cloud in general were all new to me. High availability, scalability, redundancy. We play with that a little bit on the private cloud side, but nothing to the effect of what I do now and what I was exposed to from that course. So I did what any natural person would do. I looked up courses, and luckily I found two really good ones straight out the gate. I used Stefan Merrick. I'm not sure how you say his name. Please forgive me if you're listening to this. Stephen, I don't know. But he's on Udemy. I'll put a link in the description, but his course was fantastic. It's a little dry, especially given the material, but it is what it is. It's very helpful. He explains it in a very simplistic way, and he actually goes through a lab environment to show you what things look like in real time. So that was very helpful. And unfortunately, that wasn't enough for me to grasp things. So I did a second course. I used A Cloud Guru before they were bought out by Pluralsights, and I used their Solutions Architect Associate course, which was actually fantastic. I really enjoyed that course. They also have a sandbox lab environment that you can go into and actually play with inside there. At least they did. Again, I'm not sure how things have changed since they've been bought out by Pluralsights. But along the way of doing these two courses, I did a whole bunch of practice exams. I bought some bundle from Wiz Labs. They're a really popular place where you can get practice exams, and they're pretty cheap overall. They always have crazy sales, so they're pretty inexpensive. But I kept failing those, and I was taking those along the way while I was doing these courses. And then slowly, as I was doing it more and more and more, I was starting to pick things up, and I was doing better at the exams. So that's pretty much what I did. For 2 to 3 months, I was going course exams, going back and forth, just really trying to learn the architecture, learn the principles, and just trying to get a 70% on these exams, which I was slowly doing. So by the end of it, I was probably getting 70 to 90% on these exams pretty consistently, and then I felt confident enough to actually take the exam. Now, I will say, if you're going for the Solutions Architect Associate, really just AWS exams in general, they like to do something a little bit different than a lot of these other providers do. They like to give you questions and scenarios where, technically speaking, all the answers will give you the solution that you're looking for, but they like to find the best or most optimal solution. So give me a solution that will provide you A, B, and C. Well, all three of these might do it, but which one does it best, or saves you the most money, or provides the best redundant setup given the scenario, things like that. So it really makes you use your architecture brain, which makes sense, solutions architect. So that adds a little bit more stress and anxiety, at least for me, when taking the exam, because I know that I have to really think about this from different angles, different points of view to really see what answer is most optimal. So anyway, A Cloud Guru, Stefan Merrick, and Wiz Labs. Those are the primary driving factors for me passing the exam. Long story short of it, I ended up passing. Felt fantastic to see my name on that certification. Granted, it was a digital certification, and to get that badge that I could put on my Credly and to actually put that on my resume felt so good. And if nothing else, it gave me the confidence that I needed to actually go out and start applying for jobs. Now, it didn't work that fast. It's not like I got the certification and I immediately found a job. That was the stepping stone to giving me the confidence, and now I had something tangible to put on my resume that could actually stand out to recruiters. So it probably took me about, I don't know, 6 months to fully optimize my resume and apply to enough jobs to where I was able to stand out and land some interviews. So it wasn't necessarily a quick process, but after about 6 months, I was finally starting to land some interviews and led me to a job opportunity that literally doubled my salary from the time that I started this whole process. Now, granted, this was years ago, so I don't know how things are now. How I don't know how big of a salary jump you can make with one certification, but with my experience at the time, in conjunction with that cert, and I'm sure less people had it then than now. I'm sure, but it helped land me a pretty good job at the time. Now, I chose AWS specifically because at the time when I was looking at the market, when I was looking at Reddit, when I was looking at public cloud in general, everyone was going pretty much AWS. All the enterprise corporate level jobs, AWS, your Netflix, your Facebook, everything was pretty much AWS. Nowadays, a lot of these bigger corporations, specifically the ones that use the Microsoft stack, are going Azure for good reason. It's Microsoft. So I definitely think it's good to diversify and learn both platforms, but I learned AWS first, and it made learning GCP and Azure very easy. The naming conventions for GCP and for Azure make more sense in my mind. I feel like AWS just kind of started throwing things at the wall without their naming conventions. But at any rate, learning the principles from AWS carried over to all the different cloud platforms. And they're almost like twins, brothers, sisters, however you want to call it. All of the technology is pretty much the same across the board. What they name their services and the GUI and the syntax, obviously different. But what you learn from a high level, the principles, the architecture, all that applies to every public cloud. And for that aspect, AWS was absolutely fantastic. And that still was probably one of the harder certifications that I've ever had to get. Most other ones are more textbook and a lot easier just from a certification exam test standpoint. Now, since getting that cert, I have recertified 3 times, and I think they expire every 3 years or so. So I've had it for quite some time. That test still gives me anxiety every single time the recertification time frame comes back up because I know what it takes to get back in there. And as much as I know about it, I still always go back and restudy and retake a course just to freshen up, especially since I jump between cloud providers all the time. So I don't just keep a lot of this knowledge just stored in my back brain. I've got real world experience, but a lot of these still require sharpening the tools, getting reacquainted with the platform if you're not in it all the time. So I have not failed a recertification, thank God, but it still definitely stresses me out every time the recertification comes up. I don't say that to scare you. I say that really just to be prepared. Don't take it lightly. If for nothing else, it's a lot of money just to drop to fail a test. A $300 failure is not only a failure to your pride and to the exam, but now you're at $300. So definitely go in prepared and you'll be fine. And I will say, there's a lot of certifications out there, but whenever I see someone specifically with an AWS certification, and there's other certifications from AWS I have as well, and they're also difficult. But since we're talking about solutions architect, when I see someone that gets or has the solutions architect, being that I know what it takes to actually get that certification, when I'm coming on to hire somebody or I'm doing roundtables with people asking them questions and I see that they have that certification, I automatically have a certain level of respect because I know what it took to get there. I know the kind of time they had to put in there. It's not the kind of exam that you can just memorize answers and pass. You actually have to know your stuff. You have to know at least high level how things work and operate because these are scenario based questions where you have to pick out the best answer to fit that given scenario. So it actually takes you knowing the technology, knowing how things operate to answer these questions. So from that standpoint, I think the certification is absolutely fantastic. It's still sought after. When I look at job postings online, I still see people highly requesting AWS. And again, if you're getting into any of those big enterprise level companies, 9 times out of 10, they're using AWS. They have an AWS presence of some kind. So it's only going to benefit you from having this kind of certification. And good news, unlike a lot of these other certifications, it does last for 3 years. So it's not like you have to stress out, get it for 1 year, and then go recertify. It's going to last you some time. You can breathe a little bit, focus on something else, and always come back to get either the professional or recertify or whatever have you. So bottom line, just to wrap this whole thing up, I think AWS Solutions Architect to this day is still super valuable. I think it will definitely add credibility to your resume. I think it will definitely add confidence to you if you're getting into the public cloud space. And if you want to get it, make sure you look for a cloud guru slash plural sites. I don't know if it's the same courses, but I would imagine all that stuff is still archived on there. Stefan Merrick on Udemy. He has sales all the time, so that's a very cheap investment that will definitely go a long way. And practice exams. I know there's many vendors out there that have practice exams, but Wiz Labs is who I used specifically. I think I got a bundle of 10 variants of practice exams. Stefan Merrick's course also exam has mini quizzes at the end of each module, so that was also helpful. But again, for me, it took about 2 to 3 months, so I'm sure people can probably get it quicker. But the whole idea is not to rush it. You want to learn the material, you want to get the certification and apply it to real world. So if you can't be interviewed on it, what good is it for you? If you can't apply it to real world scenarios, what good is it? So actually take your time, learn the materials, go get that cert. If you found this useful, please like, subscribe, comment down below if you have the certification or if you want to know about some of the other certifications that I got. I'd love to make a video on it. And if you just want to say hi in the comments. See you guys in the next one.